Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. When are the UK data releases and how could they affect GBP USD? http ntvforex.com News ID E636AC 2 minutes ago by Anil Panchal. The UK economic data overview. The British economic calendar is set to dominate the market's moves at 0600 GMT with the second quarter Q2 GDP and BSP figures for 2020. Also increasing the importance of that time are March month trade balance and industrial production details. The first readout of the Q2 2020 GDP is seen weaker at 20.5% QOQ and 22.4% YOY versus 2.2% and 1.7% respective priors. Looking at the monthly readings, the UK NBSP GDP is expected to recover 8.0% MOM in June versus 1.8% prior, while the index of services 3M for the same period is seen weaker from 19.2% to 18.9%. Meanwhile, the manufacturing production, which makes up around 80% of total industrial production, is expected to rise 10% MOM in June against 8.4% recorded in May. Further, the total industrial production is expected to come in at 9.2% MOM for June as compared to the previous reading of 6.0%. Considering the yearly fact, the industrial production for June is expected to have dropped by 12.8% versus 20.0% previous, while the manufacturing production is also anticipated to have declined by 15.0% in the reported month versus 22.8% last. Separately, the UK goods trade balance will be reported at the same time and is expected to show a deficit of £4.75 billion versus a £2.805 billion deficit reported in May. Deviation impact on NBSP GBP USD. Readers can find FX Street's proprietary deviation impact map of the event below. As observed, the reaction is likely to remain confined around 20 pips in deviations up to or 2, although in some cases, if notable enough, a deviation can fuel movements over 60-70 pips. How could affect GBP USD at the press time? The GBP USD extends the previous day's losses while declining 0.12% on a day to 1.3030. The pair dropped the previous day following downbeat UK employment data. As a result, the pound traders are waiting for the key British macro for fresh impetus. Although market forecasts suggest further declines of the GBP USD prices following UK GDP, and Forex's Yoha Elam cites odds of positive beat to propel the UK second quarter GDP likely dropped, confirming a recession yet probably not by around 20%. A beat may boost the pound, yet expectations may have already been adjusted. A surprising fall of over 20% would send sterling lower. NBSP technically, the pair's failures to cross 50-bar SMA join bearish MACD conditions to suggest further downside. As a result, an ascending trend line from July 30th, at 1.3030 now, gains the seller saw immediate attention before targeting the 1.3000 threshold and 100-bar SMA level of 1.2965. On the contrary, a clear break of 50-day SMA, currently around 1.3090, is not enough to recall the bulls as a downward sloping trend line from August 6 near 1.3125 also challenges the pair's short-term upside. Keynotes UK GDP preview. 3 reasons why 20% contraction estimates are too low. GBP USD may rise. GBP USD price analysis depressed below 50-bar SMA around 1.3050. UK GDP in focus. GBP USD forecast comfortable consolidation above 1.3000 continues. About the UK economic data. The gross domestic product released by NBSP. The NBSP Office for National Statistics. NBSP ONS. NBSP is a measure of the total value of all goods and services produced by the UK. The GDP is considered as a broad measure of the UK economic activity. Generally speaking, a rising trend has a positive effect on the GBP, while a falling trend is seen as negative or bearish. The manufacturing production released by the Office for National Statistics ONS measures the manufacturing output. Manufacturing production is significant as a short-term indicator of the strength of UK manufacturing activity that dominates a large part of total GDP. A high reading is seen as positive or bullish for the GBP, while a low reading is seen as negative or bearish. The trade balance released by the Office for National Statistics (ONS) is a balance between exports and imports of goods. A positive value shows trade surplus, while a negative value shows trade deficit. It is an event that generates some NBSP volatility (NBSP) for the GBP. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors.